Hey, what's up guys, Combat Critic here. In this video, I want to give my pick on this upcoming fight between Bruce Leroy, Alex Caceres and Daniel Pineda. So let's get started. If we look at the records of these two guys, starting with Alex, he has 34 fights and he's won 20, lost 13. Out of his 20 wins, 4 have come via knockout, 7 via submission and 9 via decision. If we talk about his 13 losses, he's been knocked out just once in his pro career and he's been submitted 7 times, and this is a cause of concern. And he's lost 5 times via decision. He also has won no contest. Now, if we talk about Daniel, he has 45 fights, 28 wins, and 14 losses. If we talk about his 28 wins, 9 have come via knockout and 19 have come via submission. So, this man is a submission artist and he is looking to submit you. And look at this, he has no wins via decisions. All his wins have come via finishes, and submissions are, kind of a weak point for Alex. If we look at the 14 losses of Daniel, he has lost thrice via knockout, 6 times via sub, and 5 times via decision. So every time the fight went to a decision, he has lost it. And he also has 3 no contests on his record. Now let's look at some of the physical stats and the career stats. Starting with the height, it is 5 feet 10 for Alex and 5'7" for Daniel. So Alex will have a 3-inch height advantage. Weight, so this fight is at featherweight. If we talk about the reach, 73 inches for Alex and 69 inches for Daniel. So a 4-inch reach advantage goes to Alex. Alex is a southpaw stance fighter and Daniel is an orthodox. If we talk about the age, so Alex is surprisingly the younger fighter and Daniel is the older fighter here. So far, all the stats we have looked at, height, reach, the age, they are all leaning towards Alex. Now let's look at some of the career statistics, starting with the striking numbers. So first up, we have the strikes landed per minute. This signifies the number of significant strikes that you land on your opponent per minute on average. This is 4.16 for Alex and it is 3.32 for Daniel. So Alex is the busier striker. He will have an advantage. He lands more strikes than Daniel. Striking accuracy is 51% for Alex and it is 49%. So pretty even between these two guys, but a slight edge goes to Alex. Strikes absorbed per minute. This signifies the number of significant strikes that you absorb from your opponent per minute on average. This is 2.92 for Alex and it is 3.03 for Daniel. So this number should be as low as possible. So in this case, the advantage goes to Alex because he is getting hit lesser than Daniel. Striking defense is 64% for Alex and 48% for Daniel. So again, the advantage goes to Alex here as well. Overall, in the striking department, I think the advantage clearly goes to Alex. He is the better striker. Now let's look at some of the wrestling, grappling, and BJJ statistics. So starting with the takedown average, it is 0.57 for Alex and 1.47 for Daniel. So a huge advantage here goes to Daniel. He is the better wrestler. And let's look at the takedown accuracy. It is 70% compared to just 24%. So I think even though the advantage in the takedown department goes to Daniel, the accuracy advantage goes to Alex. Takedown defense is 64% for Alex and this will be tested in this fight. And if we talk about Daniel, it is 48%. So again, a slight advantage goes to Alex, but Daniel has a 24% takedown accuracy, and with his 24% takedown accuracy, he'll be trying to take down a guy who has a 64% takedown defense. Can he do this in a 3-round fight? Of course, but we'll see what happens when he takes down Alex. Will he scramble? Will Alex scramble back to his feet? If we talk about the submission average, this is the number of submission attempts that you have on average in a 15-minute fight. This is 0.8 for Alex and it is 1.8 for Daniel. So he has the BJJ advantage, and we saw this from his record. He has 19 wins via sub. Now let's look at the significant strikes that these two guys have by position. So 85% of all the strikes that Alex throws comes from the standing position, and compared to Daniel, it is only 57% for Daniel. If we talk about the clinch, 9% for Alex and 7% for Daniel. And if we talk about the ground, this is where the main difference lies. It is just 6% for Alex and it is 36% for Daniel. So Daniel relies heavily on the takedowns and on the ground and pound, on the submissions, whereas Alex usually likes to stand and strike. If you look at the significant strikes by target, so to the head 65% for Alex compared to 68% for Daniel. So both these guys are pretty even here. Body 23% for Alex compared to 15% for Daniel. And to the leg 12% for Alex and 17% for Daniel. So overall, Daniel likes to take you to the ground and he can either submit you or ground and pound. And if you talk about Alex, he usually goes to the head, but he'll also sometimes go to the body and rarely ever goes to the leg. Now let's look at some of the previous performances of these two guys, starting with Bruce Leroy. In his last fight, he beat Julian Erosa via TKO, head kick and punches. This was in December of last year and he finished him in the first round. So he is taking around 5 months, 6 months and coming back to fight again. Before that, he lost to Sodiq Yusuf via unanimous decision in March of last year in a 3-round fight. Before that, he was on a 5-fight winning streak where he beat Seung Bo Choi via rear naked choke and Kevin Krum via unanimous decision, Austin Springer again rear naked choke, Chase Hooper via unanimous decision, and Steven Peterson again via unanimous decision. So he has, he had some momentum, but he lost to Sodiq. Sodiq is a good guy in the featherweight rankings. It's not like Alex is losing to nobodies. Before that, if we talk about the fight, this is the thing that concerns me. He has lost to a submission artist in the past in Kron Gracie, and I think Daniel will be looking at this fight closely and trying to, find the weakness in Alex's ground game, because getting rear naked choked by Kron Gracie is not a big deal. Kron is a legend in the BJJ community. However, Alex has a lot of submission losses on his record, and that is one thing which he is susceptible to, that is getting choked out. And if we talk about the fight before that, he beat Martin Bravo via split decision. Now let's look at Daniel. In his last fight, he beat Tucker Lutz via guillotine choke, and this fight happened this year in March. So he is taking a really short turnaround, fighting again after 2.5 months break. Before that, he lost to, it was an NC against Andre Fili, and this fight happened in 2021 of June. So he took a lot of time. I think it took close to 2 years to come back for this Tucker Lutz fight. Before that, he lost to Cub Swanson via knockout in the second round. And before that was his UFC debut, where he beat Herbert Burns via TKO in the second round. And so he's had just 4 UFC fights compared to Alex, who has been in the UFC, I think, for 10 years now. Alex was in the Ultimate Fighter season where they had Michael Johnson and GSP. So he has been, in the big league for a long, long time. If we talk about the fights before that, he had 2 NCs in PFL. Both were overturned, and before that he was fighting in Fury, so a much lower level organization. Overall, if I have to pick a winner, I think if Alex can stuff the takedowns of Daniel, he probably wins the fight. He should win the fight. He is the favorite for this fight, and I think the stats back it up. He is the tallest guy. He has more reach. He has more UFC fights. He has the better striking. All he has to do is work on his takedown defense and the ability to scramble back to his feet whenever he gets taken down, and he should probably win this fight. I'm picking Alex to win this fight. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'll see you guys in the next video.